Hey guys, Chef Jed here at PS Seasoning. Today we're going to be making Dr. Pepper ribs, but we're going to put a PS twist on it. We've got our cherry bomb barbecue sauce, which is going to add a real sweet cherry flavor that's going to complement the Dr. Pepper really well. We're going to be using a 3-2-1 method of smoking these ribs, which is going to give us a 6-hour cook time, and it's going to break down the meat really well. It's going to be a 3-hour smoke, and then we're going to wrap the ribs in foil with some butter and cherry bomb to give it a glaze, and we're going to braise it in that liquid for 2 hours, and then back on the grill with a baste of the cherry bomb for 1 more hour. Today we're going to be using back ribs, and we need to prep them and get them ready to be rubbed. So we first need to remove the membrane. Kind of get a butter knife wedged underneath that membrane, and then after that you should be able to use your thumb and kind of peel it back. And if we're lucky, this will all come off in one piece. Doesn't seem to want to do. The idea for cooking it so long is so that the meat tenderizes and creates a really nice bite. And if you don't take that off, it kind of defeats that purpose. Second reason is if we leave that membrane on, it's going to create a barrier to all the flavors that we want to infuse. It's going to create a barrier for our rub and the smoke. We're also going to trim up some of this excess meat and fat here. That's just not going to smoke well, and it'll kind of burn up on the grill anyway, so we just don't need it. All right, the membrane was a little tricky, so it took me longer than I would have liked, but that's okay. It's part of the process. I transferred the ribs to a sheet tray so we can kind of make a mess for this next process, which is the rub. We're going to start by adding a binder, which we're using yellow mustard. Don't worry about flavor or anything like that if you don't like mustard. The flavor kind of burns up and gets taken over by everything else that we're going to put on the ribs. It's really just so that the rub can adhere to the meat, and then once it gets on the smoker, it'll stick a little better. If you're still worried about using mustard, you can use other binders. Apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, even mayo will work, a light coating, but today we are going to use yellow mustard. So just about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half on the underside, and just get your hand in there and rub it all in. For our rub, we're going to be using Notorious P.I.G, which has chili peppers and red pepper flakes. It's going to give it some nice heat to balance out the sweet with the Dr. Pepper and cherry bomb. You don't have to be shy, because not all of it is going to stick, but we want to give it the opportunity to get as much flavor on there as possible. Okay, and here I'm not going to rub, I'm going to pat it in there so that it'll adhere. If I rub, you get the chance of kind of getting clumps and things like that, and you just don't want that on there because they'll smoke and they'll harden, and it won't be pleasant to bite into. All right, we're gonna flip it over and do the same thing onto the top. Now that we're all rubbed, I'm going to let these sit for about 15-20 minutes so that the rub will kind of absorb those juices and the mustard and really adhere to the meat. While that's happening, I'm gonna step outside and get our smoker started. I'm gonna set it to 225, and we'll be ready to throw these guys on. And we're gonna get 2 pieces of heavy-duty aluminum foil. We're gonna pour some sauce down and add some butter. And then we're gonna make a boat shape so that it contains all those juices and the braising liquid. And we're gonna pour some Dr. Pepper directly into the boat. And we're gonna set the meat side down. Then underneath, we're gonna add some more butter, a little more sauce, and then some more Dr. Pepper. Then we're gonna wrap up the ribs, and you wanna get it nice and tight, but not too tight so that you break holes in the foil. We wanna keep all those juices and braising liquids inside. For the second part, we're going to put the ribs meat side down while they cook in the foil. And do the underside first, and then flip and do the same to the top. Once again, we're gonna go back onto the smoker for about an hour to finish these up, and then we'll be ready to eat. These have spent the last about 45 minutes. We didn't quite make it the whole hour on this smoker to tack that barbecue sauce on there. I'm really excited to try these at this point, and that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab a knife, be right back. Well, they're cutting beautifully. They look right tender. And we got a good smoke ring on there, but we got detachment from the bone, so they should be fall off the bone, and I'm going to eat it. That was a big bite, first off, but second, these are phenomenal. The sweetness, there's a little bit of spice, which I think comes from both the Notorious P.I.G that we used as a dry rub, but also there's a little bit of spice to the cherry bomb. So that mixed with the sweet, and the smoke and the Dr. Pepper, that sugariness, so good. For the recipe, check out psseasoning.com. Until next time, I'm Chef Jed. Thanks for watching.